The Department of Justice says the Board of Pardons and Parole would have to study granting executive clemency to Mary Jane Veloso before making such a recommendation to President Bongbong Marcos. Veloso, who was nearly executed in Indonesia for drug trafficking, is now in the custody of the Philippines following an agreement with Jakarta. In a chance interview, Justice Undersecretary Jesse Andres echoes the sentiment of President Bongbong Marcos that legal experts would still have to assess if Veloso can be granted clemency. According to Andres, the evaluation by the Board of Pardons and Parole is a lengthy process that can't be rushed, especially as the government is merely continuing Veloso's prison sentence in the Philippines after her transfer from Indonesia.
The Board of Pardons and Parole should make the proper evaluation. Kailangan po pagkaroon ng rekomendasyon ang Board of Pardons and Parole na i-elevate ko sa ating Pangulo bago po sa grant ng executive clemency or pardon. Hintayin po natin. May tama pong panahon para magsalita po kami dyan, pero may proseso din po kailangan sundin.
Asked if Veloso is entitled to the good conduct time allowance like other persons deprived of liberty, Andres responds in the affirmative.
All persons deprived of liberty are entitled to what we call good conduct time allowance. DCPA, then po ay magpapababa ng tagal ng pagpakulong niya. All PDLs are entitled to that. So we just have to wait, and the process is already ongoing.
The good conduct time allowance is the privilege granted to a person deprived of liberty, entitling him to a reduction of his prison term for every month of actual detention or service of sentence as a reward for good conduct and exemplary behavior. Andres also explains that the DOJ would still have to study how the process could apply to Veloso, as inmates can apply for the privilege after serving a specific period in prison. Veloso was arrested in 2010 in Yogyakarta, Indonesia, after she was found in possession of more than 2.6 kilograms of heroin. She was then sentenced to death but was spared from death row in 2015 after Philippine officials asked then Indonesian President Joko Widodo to allow her to testify against members of a human and drug smuggling syndicate in Manila. After almost 15 years of discussions and diplomacy, Indonesia finally allowed Veloso's transfer to the Philippines. She arrived in the country on December 18 and proceeded to the Correctional Institute for Women in Mandaluyong City to continue serving her sentence, this time without the death penalty, which is prohibited in the Philippines.